This tutorial demonstrates how to create a template which will import item data into QuickBooks using QIntegrator. The sample data file is available from the resources section of our website at www.qsoftware.co.uk. The tutorial uses the Port Meadow Locksmiths Limited sample company file provided with QuickBooks 2008. The first thing we'll do is start QuickBooks. Then select the Port Meadow Locksmiths file, which has a name of sample company file pro.qbw. Because we're using a sample company file, QuickBooks notifies us. We'll click OK to continue. Now that QuickBooks is running, we'll start QIntegrator. To create a new template, click File, New Template. The new template window opens. Let's name this template My Sample Item Import. Since this is an item import, we will select that type, Import Item. We need to locate the file of our source data. This is held, in our case, in a folder called QIntegrator. The source is an Excel spreadsheet, and if we browse here, we can find My Sample Items. Let's open that. We said it's an Excel spreadsheet. The name is Sheet 1 that we need to enter here. If we click the hyperlink import file name, you can see the data that we have. The top line is a series of labels, with the remaining 6 lines being the data. We don't need this open, so we'll minimize it at this point. Let's look at the Import tab. The top row was a header, so we'll skip that by putting 1. And now the import table is Item Inventory. We need to select the product edition of QIntegrator. In our case, this is the Pro edition. We'll save the file at this point. If we now click Lists, Templates, we see all the templates currently available within QIntegrator. The bottom one is My Sample Item Import. If we right click and click Edit, we come back to the original Edit Template window. If we click the Mapping tab, you'll see that there is no data currently here. However, if we open the spreadsheet, we can select the label row. Let's copy that, and we'll just minimize. Here, if we right click, we can select Paste Rows. This takes the headers from our spreadsheet and also puts in the actual column numbers. We need to duplicate that in the C column here each time, so we'll type in the number 1. Now we set the options for this. Now this is the name of the item. This is a key field which changes each time. It's also Excel header data. OK. We need to set now the QuickBooks table that we will import to. This will be the Item Inventory table, and the QuickBooks column, which is the name column or name field. Let's look at Purchase Description, line 2. In the C column, we will type the number 2. Let's click the Option column, and we will select the necessary requirements for this field. Let's select the QB table column, and it's Item Inventory. This time it's the Purchase Description field, or Purchase Desk as it appears in the drop down. Select that, click OK. OK, on to Purchase Cost, column number 3, and this is also Excel header data. Select that, click OK. QuickBooks table is going to be Item Inventory again, and the field is going to be Purchase Cost. Let's find that in the list. There we are. No, not that one. that one. That's it. Click OK. Okay, column 4. This is our sales description. This is also header data. Click OK. It will be inserted into the item inventory table. Select that and use the drop down to find sales desk, sales description. There we are. Click OK. And the 5th of our rows, type 5, Excel header yet again. Click OK. Item inventory. And sales price from the drop down. Okay, and this is not all the data that is required to insert this. There are 3 other fields, and we can add those to the bottom here by right-clicking and selecting Add Row. This is row number 6. Now, of course, this data is not taken from the spreadsheet. First of all, we need a cost of goods sold account. So let's give the tag a name, COGS account. And here we need to put in the actual name in QuickBooks of the COGS account. So let's find that by looking at the chart of accounts. And if you look down the type column, eventually you'll come to cost of goods sold, and you'll see that it's locks and safes purchases. So back in Q Integrator, in the expression, we type the name of that account, locks and safes purchases. As we said, this is not in the Excel spreadsheet, so here we select the default value checkbox. Click OK. This will be inserted into the item inventory table, and we will find the cost of goods account. Here we are. It's the COGS account ref full name field. Click OK. Okay, the 7th line is another account we need to do. Right click, select Add Row, type 7, give the account a name. This is the income account. And likewise, we'll check QuickBooks for the name of the income account, and you can see it's just above the cost of goods sold account. Is called sales. So in the expression field we type sales. In the options field we double click it and we select default value. Click OK. The QB table field is going to be item inventory, and we will select the income account ref full name field here. Click OK. And the final field that we need, right click, add row, number 8. This will be the asset account. We'll give it a tag, and again we need to check the name of our asset account in QuickBooks. Now if you come up to the top, you can see stock is a current asset. So in the expression field type stock. In the options field double click, select default value, click OK. In the QB table it will be finally item inventory again, and we will select the asset account ref full name field here. Click OK. So we now have a mixture of Excel data that will be input and data that is the same for every field, which we have set up ourselves. Finally, let's just set the connection now. This is QuickBooks data. We do this as the last step here. Double check the mapping. Okay, everything's fine. The import, which we'd already set, let's save this. To make it easier to use these, if you right click the name of the template and select Add to Navigator, it puts it up onto the familiar desktop here. We can see my sample item import available to us. And we can test this template, and what we're doing is testing the logic of the template. Having clicked that, you can see that we're told it's a template test. It's processed 6 different items with no other problems. Now what we'll do is select Test Import. This checks to see whether the data would import correctly into QuickBooks. And again you can see that we have test import, 6 were processed, none were skipped, 6 would have been imported had it been a real import, and there were no problems. The bottom part gives us additional information about any issues there may have been. Now let's just double check our actual item list at the present time. We're just proving here that we don't have the items which appear in our spreadsheet. So here we have a header row followed by 6 items, all beginning with my something or other, and you can see that they don't exist in the item list at the present time. Let's go back to QIntegrator and we'll actually run the import. If you look at the details screen, you can see that this has actually processed 6, no problems, none were skipped, 6 were imported, there were no errors. That's confirmed down the bottom, and on the right hand side the individual imports were confirmed as imported. So let's go back to QuickBooks, and now you can see those 6 items, MY and their numbers. If we double click the last one, we can just check that everything's inserted as we wanted it to. So it's a stock part, there's its part number, we have the purchase transaction description there, the cost, also the default VAT code and the COGS account are shown. Alongside we see the description on the sales transaction, the sales price, again the default VAT code, and the income account that this is associated with. Let's just cancel that. As you have seen, QIntegrator makes it quick and easy to write templates and then import the relevant data into your QuickBooks system at the touch of a button. And importing the data means that errors introduced when rekeying are completely eliminated. That concludes the tutorial on writing templates and importing data into QuickBooks.